Communities. We are here as the City of Hobbs to bring you an update related to the ongoing COVID-19 pandemic. I'm Megan Mooney, Director of Communications with the City of Hobbs, and I'm here with our Acting City Manager, Manny Gomez, and our Mayor, Sam Deacon.
Good afternoon. I appreciate the opportunity to share with you some of my thoughts about what's currently going on in the community. I drove the community today. I went to some of the grocery stores. I know that stocks are low, but I will tell you that there is not an impending shortage of food in this city or this country. I operate in the food processing industry, so I'm very close to it, and I want to assure people that if you will go to the stores and you will buy a week's supply of groceries, the grocery stores are going to catch up. But when we have people going in and buying a month's supply of groceries, it's difficult for the grocery stores and the supply chain to catch up with that. So I would encourage people to be a little more careful about what they buy and make sure that they take what they need. I can assure you that if there was ever anything like that, you would be the first to know. We have no desire to keep the public uninformed or misinformed. But there are social media sites and individuals that are trying to create a scare associated with what is going on as it relates to the COVID-19 virus. Also, I know many of you are very concerned about our economic conditions. This week, as a matter of fact, the state of New Mexico, through the State Investment Council, has released a $100 million loan fund that's going to be available to businesses in the state for zero interest or low interest loans. We know how important the oil and gas industry is to the viability of this community and this county. And we're already working on what we can do to help those organizations and those independent oil and gas operators and the service companies to overcome what's going on in the world oil market. So we're going to continue to work on that. Another thing that is very important to you to be aware of, thanks to the leadership of our commission and our city staff, over the last few years we have built up substantial cash reserves in this city. We have the ability to weather this for a long time, and there be no anything that would create any scare upon the public in terms of our public service, law enforcement, medical services, any of those kinds of things. So I want you to be aware, regardless of what you may hear, you can look on the city website where we provide finances. The city has well over $100 million in the bank that's available for us to be able to use appropriately to make sure that you are safe and secure in the city of Hobbs. And Lee County is the same way. They have done the same thing. So residents of Hobbs and Lee County, you can be assured that we are in good shape to be able to make sure that you and your family are going to be safe. And I want Megan now and Manny to talk to you about some specific things that the city's doing. There are some inconveniences that need to occur, but I think the experts in the field of epidemiology have proven that the proper social distancing and eliminating contact between individuals give us a much better chance of overcoming this much quicker than if we don't try to do some of these things that are very, very important for the safety and the health of our citizens. So Megan, please.
All right. Now, Acting City Manager Gomez, would you have anything to share concerning communication between neighboring communities, the different changes that the staff have made to our services, and those kinds of things?
All right. Thank you, Megan, and thank you, Mayor. Good afternoon, City of Hobbs and Lee County. These are no doubt unique times for the City of Hobbs, our state, and our nation. On behalf of the City of Hobbs, I want to thank those whom have followed the guidelines and recommendations from our officials and healthcare professionals throughout the country. We do understand that these changes and the unknown have disrupted many lives and our daily lives, and we want you to know that we appreciate your understanding and your cooperation. What is true today or was true yesterday may be different in a day, a week, or a month, and given how fluid this pandemic is. Some examples that we began with cancellation of events and mass gatherings, school closures, and the World Health Organization declaring COVID-19 as a pandemic. The City of Hobbs has not taken any decision or any single decision lightly, and not easy for our staff. However, we make decisions that the staff and I believe are in the best interest and the result in the protection and preservation of life to comply with the federal and state public health orders, and at times going above and beyond those orders. What we have done is as a city, is made some following guidelines, and I recommend to our citizenry to follow some of these or most of these updates on our website at www.hobbsnm.org/updates. Also the core Hobbs NM or Hobbs.com, and over the phone, making phone calls at 575-397-9200. We understand that to ease the inconvenience of the challenges within our community, utility late fees, the water and sewage, will be waived until further notice. You can still pay your bill online at www.hobbsnm.org. Some of the affected city services, our community services department that houses our building officials, our plumbing and mechanical inspectors, and our code enforcement officers. For all permit applications, we encourage you to do this online at the hobbsnm.org website, or make a phone call at 575-391-8158. Public transportation, our Hobbs Express will be suspending all fixed route. However, we will continue to provide demand response service for those essential services. Once again, you can call 397-9290. The core, or the Center of Recreation Excellence, is closed to the public. Hobbs Public Library is closed to the public. Hobbs Teen Center is closed to the public. Rockwind Community Links Golf Course and the Rockwind Grill are both closed to the public. The Hobbs Senior Center is closed to the public. However, we will continue the Meals on Wheels, and the meal pickup site will continue. And we've experienced in the last 4 or 5 days over 100 eligible members that are going through our drive-through or drive-up. So do appreciate staff at the Senior Center to continue to provide this much-needed service. If you're a senior citizen and you know anyone that is in need of a meal assistance, you may contact us at 575-397-9301. Hobbs Municipal Court is closed to the public. Hobbs Motor Vehicle Department is conducting transactions by appointment only, and you can contact them at 575-397-9213. Some canceled board meetings, advisory library board meeting previously scheduled for March 24th has been canceled. The cemetery board meeting previously scheduled for March 25th has also been canceled. So some of the this order for note is in place until April 10th unless otherwise amended. Some of the precautions and preventions that are critical is that we recommend residents, again, to utilize our hobbsnm.org update for the most up-to-date local information. We receive resources and information from CDC, the World Health Organization, or WHO, local hospitals, North Lee in Lovington, and Lee Regional Medical Center in Hobbs. All city facilities and programs will comply with the state and federal issued orders. You and I play a vital role in the safety of yourself, your family, and your community. Prevention is the most important part. Please stay safe. Thank you.
Okay.
One other comment I want to make. Also, Zia Gas Company, I just talked to those officials. They are not going to cut off anyone's gas. Xcel Energy is not going to cut off anyone's electricity. What I ask, though, is that don't take advantage of the generosity of these businesses. If you can pay your bill, please pay your bill. You can mail it in, you can pay it online, or you can do it by telephone. So I want to tell those companies and the representatives and the employees of those companies how much, on behalf of the city, we appreciate them working with our citizens. So, Megan, any other comments?
Yes, well, that's great when it comes to collaboration between public and private entities to make things like that happen for a prospering community for all. Now, let's cover some of the, what you could call fake news or false rumors that have been spread throughout the community or as often are on social media. There has been one about about local law enforcement agencies pulling individuals over to verify that they are doing essential business. Now, would you like to share a comment on that?
Well, the city manager is responsible for the police department. I think he should respond to that.
Right, and thank you, Mayor and Megan, and exactly right. Our law enforcement, local law enforcement are governed, if you will, and authorized to execute and enforce the state statutes and our local ordinances. However, when it comes into an administrative order, such as these public orders that are provided by the Governor of New Mexico, it is the state police agency that enforces those administrative orders. So you may have a local law enforcement officer encourage you to follow the social distancing, the mass gatherings at a local park. We'll definitely do that because, one, their priority is to keep you and I safe. So they may encourage that. However, the enforcement and going to the next level of potential citation or whatever that next step is, they will notify the state police to be able to enforce that.
Yeah, and I think it's important to say the commission, myself, and the city manager, there have been no directive to the Hobbs Police Department to go out and interfere with people as long as they are abiding by the governor's latest decree as it relates to social distancing. Manny did not speak to this, but one thing that we want you to be, we have some great weather coming up. I know a lot of you want to get out with your friends and family. We're going to be monitoring that aspect of it in our city parks, as long as people maintain the proper distancing, and we still want you to go out and spend some time with your family and friends. One other thing that's very important for you, for those of you that have some time on your hands, if you own one of these, you can fill out your census form. So it's still very, very important. If we're going to overcome this pandemic and this economic crisis that we have in this community, we have to get good counts so we can get the state and federal funds that we need to be able to bring in new businesses, create new jobs. So please, turn in your census information.
Yes, that is true, folks. And if you have not received your official census questionnaire in the mail, you can still fill out your census online. You just enter your address and that information, and it'll bring it up right quickly for you. It's actually how I filled mine out the very first day the census went open. The mayor is completely correct that in order for us to overcome this and receive adequate amount of funding for our community, we need to make sure that every single one of us counts so that we can overcome emergencies like this one and any others. You can do that at 2020census.gov. So fill out your census online. Online is the best option anyways and has been the method of choice by the Census Bureau. Now, concerning that false rumor that we were just covering, HPD did issue a statement on Facebook, which I read, there are rumors going around the police department is stopping cars to verify that they have a legal right to be out after the governor put out the new pandemic restrictions. The police department is not randomly stopping people to verify compliance with the governor's order. We are conducting our regular police business as usual, which means keeping us safe and ensuring
that means if you're speeding, you may get stopped by the police because we want to still maintain the safety of our streets. So as long as you're abiding by traffic laws, the Hobbs Police Department is not going to be randomly stopping you.
Now we have some crowding at different maybe basketball courts or volleyball courts. Could you give us some information on how a couple changes that are being made concerning the gates in those areas, or ask the people to not crowd or create some sort of smaller mass gathering?
And before I answer that, and a great question, Megan, but before I answer that, I think that I'd like to advise you, those that are listening in, is that in the Office of the Governor website, the Department of Health, there is what they can call an advisory March 23rd Public Health Order Frequently Asked Questions. And in there, it provides obviously those FAQs and will provide you a response from the governor's office and those designees. So many of those questions that we're talking about and conducting here will be answered in your review in the terms that we can all understand. One of the questions was, can I go to the park? And the answer to it is no, you should not, is the recommendation based on the frequently asked questions. We haven't seen in the city of Hobbs, as the mayor alluded to, the beautiful weather. I mean, we're gonna reach high 70s and the mid 80s in the next couple of days. They do recommend, and I recommend, taking a walk, keeping that social distancing and the mass gathering under 5 in compliance. And what we will do at the parks, again, no different than what I made mention with the police department. Our Parks Open Space Department will also be roaming and canvassing these areas to ensure that we're in compliance with that social distance gathering. So we do recommend that the most popular here in Hobbs is volleyball and basketball in the evenings. Again, our recommendation and based on the order is that cannot happen. So again, please, we appreciate your cooperation, and it helps staff help you keep safe.
No, that's great. So if you need some sunshine, make sure you get your vitamin D, but exercise social distancing at every moment to ensure yours and others' safety. Even if you do not experience the symptoms yourself, you may pass it on to someone else who will experience them to a much more severe level than you have. Now, for any closing remarks, we will have the opportunity now, as well as if you are looking for updated information, continue following us on Facebook, on Instagram. Give us a call anytime at 575-397-9200. And of course, go to our COVID-19 webpage, which is hobbsnm.org/update. Again, www.hobbsnm.org/update, where we are posting regular information concerning our community and how it may affect you. Any closing remarks, gentlemen?
I want the community to know that the Hobbs City Commission, the mayor's office, and the city staff, we care about each one of you individually. We want you to be healthy and safe, and we want you to have good jobs. So we're going to continue to work on that. I know there's some economic hardship coming our way, but if we work together, and we will overcome it. This is not the first time, and we will do okay in this community. Please stay together.
Again, thank you for your time, and we encourage all individuals to stay home. City staff will work with all individuals to ensure the highest quality of service and that your safety is guaranteed. Thank you.
Thank you, Hobbs and surrounding communities. Stay safe and take care of each other.